Affairs Department is launching the Border Management and Immigration Anti-Corruption Forum today. It is part of their intensified and coordinated efforts to clamp down on corruption in border management and immigration. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is live for us from Pretoria. Nqobile, I think for a lot of people who've gone and tried to get documents, there are myriad issues, not only contemporary issues, but historical issues affecting home affairs, affecting border management. What's expected from your position today?
Well, Iman, we are waiting to see how this forum is going to work in terms of ensuring that that kind of corruption that everyone has seen in the past is immediately eliminated. What we know, though, is that it forms part of the country's anti-corruption work. If you look at the fact that they are going to be using PRECA, which is basically a legislation from 2004, looking at how they can ensure that there's criminalization of corruption and so on. And we know that at the forefront of this as well, we find the SIU, and this becomes very important because they form part of this fight against corruption. And I'm going to ask you to just come slightly closer. And the question today is perhaps how is this going to be done in terms of implementing this anti-corruption forum?
Thank you very much. We are going to be dealing with this thing from a point of view of the whole of society approach, because the idea here is to say we look at the vulnerable groups and we say this is one of the vulnerable areas where our country suffers, but we are saying the public must be part of this thing, and therefore in this forum that we do, we're saying as much as there are law enforcement agencies, all of them, we also need civil society to be part, because in some instances people report these matters to civil society organizations, and we all sit in one room and then we bring the cases on the table and we can hold each other accountable all the time, not only law enforcement agencies but civil society. Therefore, that way we are saying the whole of society must be involved in the fight against corruption, especially in the borders and in immigration, because there are people who see these things happening, either in home affairs and in the borders themselves, and they are able to then go, if they don't want to come to the SIU or the NPA or the Hawks, they can go to Corruption Watch and then report that. Yeah.
And I want to know the specific role that SIU is going to be playing in this forum, but far beyond that, what are specific offences that you're going to be looking at?
We are going to be looking at corruption generally in the border management, because we know, as a matter of fact, that people are bribed to get into the country, and we know that there are people who get residence here without following processes because they bribe people. Those are the things that we are going to do. The role of the SIU in this one is we are chairing all of these anti-corruption forums. You know, this is the fourth, if not the fifth one that we are doing. We have heard the health sector one, which is working very well. Local government is working very well. Infrastructure build is working very well. We are launching this one, and the next one possibly will be the water sector.
And once we talk about the fact that there are various other places that you are currently working in terms of departments, are you able to give us an idea just in terms of numbers, where you at in terms of people that may have been arrested for such?
In this particular instance, obviously, we are starting the process, but we have been investigating anyway in the Department of Home Affairs. And you remember the last time I was with you, we were there at the Immigration Center looking at all of that. We are finalizing all of those issues as we speak now. We already have made a leeway. Unfortunately, I can't indicate those things now. And then there are instances, for example, where you remember there was a case here, that Mpofu guy in the Northwest, who was the CEO of the Development Corporation there, who had all his things illegally and ended up rising to the CEO of a big corporation in government with false information. And all of that guy is already before the courts as we speak, and there are many others of such instances.
All right, so we are going to hear more, of course, in that briefing, Iman. This will also include the border management. We know that it will include the SIU, and we also know that it will be including various entities as well as people who are basically in organizations where they are able to sort of speak and show like what they're saying in terms of whistle blowing. So that as well is being encouraged.
Thanks for that update. Certainly clamping down on corruption, clean up and professionalized services, something we can all welcome.